Before President Trump declared a national emergency at the border, the federal government took steps to fortify barriers along the Arizona-Mexico border. That included installing Concertina Wire along the top of fencing in Nogales last fall. Within the last month, the military added additional rows that reached the ground in some sections. City leaders condemned the move and threatened to sue the federal government to get it removed. This week, we heard some of those concerns firsthand from Deputy City Manager John Kissinger.
I'm concerned about it. I'm very worried that some small child or unexpected person could walk into that wire and get tangled up and get cut up. You know, and I've seen the effects of concertina wire on a person, and it's not pretty. It's pretty nasty.
This is federal government property, though, and it's pretty well marked. Isn't that enough to keep people out of it?
It's absolutely marked. You'll see there's signs on here saying not to enter. But it's not very well protected. There's about a 4-foot gap on there. And I'm worried about a child, you know, a toddler that gets out of a mom's car and goes running across the street or something, or goes chase something, getting in there. They don't read. They don't understand what it says. No trespassing. You know, anybody could really get in there. It's not very well protected.
Are there rules in place or ordinances in place in Nogales that don't allow for this type of wiring in other areas?
Absolutely. In the city of Nogales, you cannot use concertina or razor wire anywhere lower than 6 feet. It's not allowed in residential zones. It's only allowed in commercial and industrial zones, and only for a fence that protects some type of storage. There's been tunnels that were found that go right to, like, underneath that, where that van is.
Before becoming deputy city manager, Kissinger spent nearly 30 years as a Nogales police officer. We asked him to reflect on his time in law enforcement. The challenges that you face as a police officer, was it related to the border?
Well, it was, because one of the challenges we have is, as soon as a criminal was able to cross a border, they were typically sometimes scot-free. You know, and it was a challenge having to work with Mexican law enforcement to work to keep those, you know, to get those people arrested and accountable, either there or on this side of the border.
So when this style of fencing went up, changed things for you a bit as an officer?
Well, a little bit. You didn't see the undocumented immigration as much, but the crime of smuggling people kept the same. It just pushed it out to the outside. You know, out in the rural areas.
If you were an officer today, would you see the value of a fortified fence like this one?
Well, I could see the value of it, but I would also be, you know, I'd be hopeful that somebody would keep me in check and make sure that I didn't harm anybody in doing my job.
So we're going to confront the national security crisis on our southern border.
We also got Kissinger's thoughts on the president's national emergency declaration at the border and what issues are more pressing.
No, this doesn't represent a national emergency to me, but I'll tell you what does. Is just right up the street here, there's a great big sewer pipe that brings over about 15 million gallons of raw sewage every day from Mexico into the United States. That goes unchecked for floating of drugs in it, chemicals that go in it. Not to mention the wash that's right next to it that brings uncontrolled floodwaters into the United States. To me, that's more of a national emergency. That would affect our citizens here in Nogales, and citizens up the Santa Cruz River all the way up to Tucson would be more affected by what's going on there than, I believe, the Concertina wire on the wall.
Are there any positives to this? I mean, when you have military in town, increased law enforcement, that does provide an economic benefit, doesn't it?
Well, it does. It does a little bit, and we're very grateful for it. But you have to remember that 60% of our sales tax revenue, which we live and die on here in the city of Nogales, comes from people who cross that border to do shopping here.